Hello, my name is Michael Timmons. I am the author of the Like and War Saga and the Shards of the Covenant series. I am also the organizer for the Writer's Block Author Fair, which is held here in Toledo, Ohio, where I live. Um, to this video, I would like to talk to you about how to prepare and what to expect from book fairs or author fairs that you might be willing to attend. The first thing you need to consider is if the venue is right for you. Now, there are all types of author fairs all over the country, all over the world. Some are genre specific. There are book fairs for sci-fi and fantasy, for romance, for horror, mystery book fairs that are all throughout the country. The problem with those is they are few and far in between. So they may not be in your area, and because of that, you may have additional costs in order to get there, drive there, fly there, get your books there, staying in a hotel if it's further away than a day's drive. And then there are other fairs that are non-genre specific, like the Writer's Block, where regardless of the genre you have, mystery, children's, sci-fi, fantasy, they're all welcome. And there are a lot of them, and they're all throughout the world. They're easier to find, and there are more of them. So the chances that there might be a few in your general area that you can get to with relatively inexpensive ways, those might be better for you to attend. Now, as I was saying, there are all costs that come with attending a book fair. Obviously, the first and foremost that you need to worry about is the booth rental costs. These can vary. Some offer a booth for free for first come first serve. Others, they will have a cost anywhere between $50 to something like BookCon, which can exceed $2,000. There are also other costs that may need to be looked at. Some venues charge for internet use or electricity if those are the things that you might need. You also have possible room and board if it's further away for you to get to. There's also food costs that you need to consider. All these need to be looked at and evaluated to decide whether or not it is worth attending that fair for you. There are also some venues that do not supply you with a table and chair. For the most part, it's been my experience that that's not the case. Almost every book fair that I've attended usually has table and chairs that are included, somewhere to sit and present your books. I just recently found out that BookCon, which is arguably the largest book fair in the world, and charges an exorbitant amount of money for booth rental, does not supply table and chairs. You can apparently rent those for upwards to $800, which I think is ridiculous when you charge that much for a booth rental in the first place. But hey, if they can get people to do it, and a lot of publishers companies that send their authors to that, it's worth it for them. Plus, you can always share booth costs with another author. That'll help mitigate your expenses as well. Now, author fairs can run for multiple days. Some of them run for just one day. I think for the most part, most fairs that I have seen are usually a one-day event, usually on a Saturday, sometimes on a Sunday. But I have seen several fairs like BookCon and others that run for multiple days. When you have a multiple day book fair, you can probably expect your first day to suck as far as sales goes. Large part because people, when they go to these fairs, they like to look around for the first day just to get an idea of what they might look at to buy the next day. You'll probably get a lot of people who may stop at your booth, ask you questions about your books, and then walk away, which can be frustrating, but you just got to keep in mind that just because they walk away today doesn't mean they won't be back later in the weekend to get your books. Now, usually that is going to be pretty consistent for the fairs that you go to every time you go. So if you go to a multiple day fair, and then go to it the following year, you can probably expect the same results of traffic. That's just how it's going to play out. Same thing with single days. If it's some single day ones will be busy in the morning and then die down after lunch. Others are really slow in the morning just because people get, take some time to actually get going in the day, and then you will be busy after lunch and into the evening. You'll have a lot of things. Now that should be consistent year to year. The only thing that won't be consistent is your sales, because there's too many variables that will adjust those sales. It could be the weather, other authors that are nearby you on either side. I know one fair I went to, I was sitting right next to a YA fantasy author, and everybody, I guess how the traffic ran, people would stop at her booth, and then they would, for whatever reason, they would just move the other direction. They wouldn't even head my direction. And that was the second year I did that event. The first year I did really well. That year, not so good. So the reason why I'm telling you is that it can change. The same event can be different from year to year, and you should not expect same results in sales from year to year, and just not be disheartened by that, because if you give up, you could be looking at a following year of being awesome. So you should not base your judgments about whether to attend an event based on any given sales any type of year. Now, if you are getting the same results from sales every year, that's a simple case of you, not them. There's something that you are doing wrong, or something about your books that is not appealing to that public. Either it's just not the venue for you, or you are not doing a well enough job of presenting yourself that people are interested in getting your books. So something to mitigate that is to be prepared. You should prepare yourself for that book, that event. And as far as preparing for an event, there are things that really that you should do that kind of fall under what I call self-promotion. The first is signage and swag. Second is social media. Signage, people need to be able to see who you are and what you have to offer when they look at your booth. There are many things that you can do to get those to people to there. You can have a background banner like I have, or a poster board that has your name, pictures of your books, your picture, so people have a good idea before they head over to you what you have to offer. I get a lot of good response from this background banner. People love the artwork, and it draws the eye. People come over and see what I've got to show them. There are other things that you can get, tabletop runners. There are also tabletop signage that you can get. There's retractable banners that you can also use that are nice, 6 foot by 2 foot wide banners that just have, artwork about you and your books. The idea, of course, is you want eyes looking to you. You want something to draw the reader to you. And the nicer signage you have, the better chance you have of bringing someone to your table. The other thing is swag. Now, everybody loves swag. I'd say the most important swag that you can offer is a bookmark. I have one here. This is the bookmark I offer. I have several different types. This is one of them that I have. The good thing about bookmarks is you can not only everybody loves getting bookmarks, but You can add information onto those bookmarks to draw people to your sites, your website, or your Amazon page. I have a QR code that I use. People can scan. It takes them right to my Amazon page so they can buy future books and find me and follow me. There are other things that you can offer. Book plates, which are usually adhesive line little plates that go into the book that you can use to sign on. They usually have artwork that has to do with the book, or just really pretty things. They're usually kind of a collectible type things. Makes the book signing really special for people. There you can offer buttons, magnets, a variety of different things. One thing that I would say though, a definite is a bookmark. You do not want to do one of these events without having bookmarks. Now obviously all of these have costs. They range in costs. My background banner, I believe, altogether with the stand and the banner itself cost me roughly, I would say probably around $100. Then also this little poster sign, I think was like $30 with the easel. But you can use them at every event, and they are worth the price of them, in my opinion. They draw traffic, and that's the biggest thing. You need people to get over to your table, otherwise you're never going to be able to sell them books. Another thing that you really should invest in are business cards. Now these are another essential, in my opinion, that when somebody comes over, they can take. A lot of times at these book fairs, people have a certain amount of money that they're expecting to spend, and they may have found books that they really wanted to get when they got there, but they might be interested in yours as well. And by giving them a bookmark, they can check you out later and buy your books later. Some people don't even like necessarily print books. They want ebooks, or they're okay with ebooks. So if you have a business card, that will send them to your Amazon page, or wherever you're signing you're selling your books, you may pick up some additional sales that way after they leave the event. I have seen other people do different things, like photo ops, games, contests, different things to, kind of draw people over to them. I have never done any of those things, so I'm not really sure the effectiveness of those. However, you can always give them a try, see if they work for you and what you have offering, see if they draw people in, and you can always scrap it if it doesn't work, and then don't use it next time. Like many things about doing book signings and author events and author fairs, or writing in general, a lot of it is trial and error. You just have to give things a try and see if they work for you. There are too many differences between everybody's books, genres, and writing styles and what they have to offer, that not everything works for everybody. And some things will really work for others. Sometimes it's a matter of personality. Sometimes it's just, you may have a very fun attitude and draw people in with that. And the idea of having games and photo ops, you might make it a very enjoyable experience for them. And once they're there, you can sell them the book or books. I have seen people also bring candy, like a bowl of candy that they offer. In my experience, I don't think that really brings in sales, at least not for my genre. It would probably be more effective if you sell children's books, just to bring the kiddos over, because once you get the kiddos over, it's easier to sell it to the parent at that point. The last thing I would probably like to talk about is social media, as part of the self-promotion aspect of this. Some events have good social media presence, others do not. but you can't rely on them to promote you for the event. They may do something, they may put something up about you um, at the event, but you need to go above and beyond that. And the important thing with social media and events like this is start early and post often. Your posting schedule should probably work like the first hill on a coaster. Start out small, little tidbits here and there about where you're going to be, your books, what you offer, when it is, just to get it in people's minds. And then as the closer you get to the event, the more you post, the more you talk about it, the more you promote the event itself. That also gets people just there, and you know, uh, it the chance for people to get there. They may see other books that they might like, but they heard it from you first, and it doesn't hurt to promote other people's books to get people there for an event, because you never know. They may wander over to your table after all and get your book because they heard it from you. You can also do a Facebook event. Facebook events are very helpful because they do inform the person about when the event is coming up. They send out, they give them notifications on Facebook saying, hey, you have an event this weekend, and they remind those people about your event automatically, so it's not something that you have to do. So it's an additional help to get people to remember, your event and that you're going to be there. Well, that's all I have to say about preparing yourself and what to expect from author fairs today. I hope you enjoyed this video, so please, if you did, like and subscribe to my channel. I'm planning on posting more videos like this. Also videos about writing, publishing, and about my stories in general in the future. If there's anything else that you would like me to talk about, feel free to comment down below, or if you enjoyed this video, comment below. If you have any questions, just comment below. All that helps the algorithm find me and talk about me, so I can keep producing more videos. So thank you, and goodbye.